I'm a massive fan of user interviews forming a solid part of the upfront research in my projects. And one of the ways I make sure that I get as much as possible out of those user interviews, because let's be honest, they're time consuming and expensive to do, is to use empathy mapping. I do this after every interview and it never fails to help me organise my thoughts. In this video, we'll take a look at what an empathy map is, how I use it, and how you can use it too. So having conducted a user interview, it's easy to think that you've got your notes, you're ready to go, you've learnt what you can learn. But actually, going through the process of creating an empathy map after each interview really helps you visualise and consider the information that you've just received. So some of the big advantages of empathy mapping are that they put a narrative in your data. It's very easy to walk away from a conversation, especially if you're doing, 10, 15, 20 user interviews over a week or so, for it to be a bit transactional. The answer to question 1 was X, and that's aligned with X many other people from the study and doesn't correlate with group Y because of X, Y, and Z. We can very easily start thinking of these people as data points. But in fact, everything they've said has context and nuance. Very rarely in a user interview are we going to get hard quantitative data. Mostly, we're going to be getting thematic, qualitative data that we need to really consider carefully. And being able to put a narrative to that really helps. The other thing empathy maps are really helpful for is to help us get into the heads of our users. Because even after a conversation, an interview, we still don't really know them that well. The dynamic of an interview doesn't really lend itself to open conversation, it lends itself to a very targeted conversation. An empathy map allows us to slightly broaden our view. You're not going to become friends or magically become soulmates with the person that you do an empathy map for, but it should give you a slightly more well-rounded view of them as a person rather than a point of data. And finally, I really like using empathy maps because they're a really helpful way simply to visualise the information that I have gathered. It's all very well that I know what the insights are, I know what I've learned, but having a good solid visualisation makes it much easier to share those insights with others who maybe weren't there for the interview. So, what exactly goes into an empathy map? There are 4 quadrants to an empathy map. The first one is say, or says. Basically, what did the user say? The words, the sentences, the actual information they gave you directly. I take learning predominantly on Monday mornings because that's when I have free time in the office. Or I really dislike reading, and so whenever there's an option to listen or watch, I will always take it. Things that they've told you directly, they are factual, assuming the user isn't lying to you. Next up, we have the almost complete opposite, think or thinks. This is where you want to document what the user's thinking about. Now, this is slightly strange because they haven't told you what they're thinking about, or maybe they have, but then technically it becomes something they said. So instead, the think section is based on the qualitative research from that conversation. It's up to you to ask yourself, as you were having that conversation, did they seem distracted or preoccupied about a certain topic? By the way they reacted and responded to you, what do you think they were thinking? This is one of the many reasons why having observers in UX interviews is really helpful. If you're there having a conversation, you may not notice simple things like irritable body language that you might spot from a mile away any other time. Some observers will almost certainly spot it, and they'll be able to tell you what that means in terms of what the person is thinking, whether they're irritated or angry or frustrated with something. Next up, section 3 is do, does, or action. As the name implies, this is all about the actions the user takes. As an example, let's imagine as part of this user interview, you've put down a paper prototype of a UI you're considering for this e-learning. What they do when navigating that UI is what you put in this quadrant. This could equally be the things that they do in their job that they tell you about, or any number of other things, but the key thing is this is only about action, not what they wish they could do, not what they want to do in the future, but what they actually do in the current time. The last quadrant is a little bit like think, except kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum, because we're talking about feels or feelings. The emotional impact of the situation or underperformance. You should really come away from an interview with a solid idea of what impact the current status quo is having on how your interviewee feels. Do they feel frustrated and held back due to a lack of development opportunities? Or, in actual fact, whilst it's a frustrating performance issue, do they not really care? Have the workforce gone beyond the point where they consider it to particularly be their problem? The important thing when doing an empathy map is that it's not about you. You need to set your opinions, your biases, what you wish the answers were to one side, and instead focus all your energy and all your effort on your users. They are the people that count. Theirs are the opinions that carry weight, and when gathering research and creating an empathy map, theirs are the only voice that should be present. Now, one really handy way of working with empathy maps is to use a platform like Miro or Figma. That way, at the end of every interview, you can quickly log on and update either one large empathy map, or individual empathy maps, or small group empathy maps. This also makes it really easy to share them with your colleagues and fellow researchers, others instructional designers as well. The ability to share insights is one of the great strengths of a visualization, so make sure you're always maximizing that. Finally, if you're gonna start using empathy maps, take it slow. Don't start out with some grand plan to conduct 40 interviews and create 40 empathy maps and overnight completely revolutionize how you conduct training in your business. Instead, focus on small, manageable changes. Perhaps you're going to conduct 10 interviews in this upcoming project. Well, create 5 empathy maps. Don't try and go from 0 to 100 all in one go. You'll see the value even in those first 5, and then you can get the buy-in of others so that it's not all on you. They can support by conducting interviews and creating empathy maps themselves. You can then bring your data together with the added benefit of, with more people doing the interviewing, more people creating the empathy maps, there is far less opportunity for one person's inherent or unconscious biases to impact the results. I hope you found this useful, and perhaps you'll give empathy mapping a go next time you're conducting some user interviews, or perhaps you'll start doing some user interviews. Who knows? Please let us know down in the comments what you're taking away. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and remember to subscribe before you go.